so we can see it.
So 20 years from now, we'll go, do we want to do this?
Actually, after this one, I'm so old. I'm like 90.
So I think about Adam and Eve and walking with God on the land and taking care of this land and maintaining the land. So we're going to get to that perfection.
Yeah, but they're so dumb to have everything they want more. That's so dumb.
Cactus. Ooh. I like how they lived under the cliff so the rain could never get to them.
Yeah, they're very smart. I think everything that they created was very smart. It's all purpose.
To really think that through
Yeah,
and find the right spot.
yeah. And the rocks that they used to keep the coolness in and the heat out, or vice versa. That was really cool.
I start over here, when I do the cards, you want to take photos. I start over here and then I move across. I think you're the last group?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool, awesome. Welcome to Palatki. My name is Lisa, I'm one of the volunteers here. Palatki is run by 99% volunteers.
All right.
There's a lot of us that are travel the Spirit Road come down in here, and then the ones that get to live here, which I was here 2 weeks ago, I did 3 months, and it's one of the top camping spots I've ever had in my life. So, volunteer.gov, federal lands, anywhere you want to go if you're RV. We give back to the parks. Free place to stay, basically.
That's awesome.
Yep. So, welcome. My spiel's a little different, so I like to touch base. Welcome to Palatki, not Palataki. That's our #1 phone call. Is this Palataki? No, it's Palatki. And Palatki is a Hopi word meaning red house. So that's pretty neat. The space we're in right here is called the Grotto. The Grotto is a pretty awesome spot. One of the 7 waterfalls flows into it. We closed off the area to stop foot traffic from raising dust. There are current dust studies going on for many years now. We like to please honor the speed limit on the dirt road because, as you can see, there are different thicknesses of dust across the walls, okay? And if we can do our part to limit what travels across and sticks to the wall, then we get to see these pictographs longer, okay? With that said, I like you to picture that this space would be like a giant information booth for future travelers, or a classroom-like setting where they're teaching their young what's in the area and such, because you can see there's animal drawings and things on the wall. I'll point out different things that I can say what they are because they're in books, and then there's other things we just have to use our imagination and guess at, okay? My laser pointer died on the first tour, so I'm gonna try to get everybody's attention to the back wall. There's a big white circle back there. Everyone see it? Underneath that big white circle, there is squiggle marks to indicate mountain ranges with some white colored in mountains. Under the mountain range, on the far left, you can see a black point or mark, and then a quarter of the way in, a black mark. And then to the far right, there's a black mark that's barely visible. If y'all turn around, that's a mirror image of this mountain range. And it is a seasonal calendar showing when the sun rises in the summer, the spring and the fall, and the winter. So the winter is to the far right, spring and fall, quarter mark in from the winter mark, and then summer is further over to the left. Why do I know that? Because I've been here spring, fall, and winter. Luckily the summer, it's really hot here. So that plays such an importance on everything the Native Americans did here, okay, for their living situation. One, that seasonal calendar is marking when to plant, when to harvest, what naturally grows here and when to harvest that, and what animals move through and migrate in order to hunt. And a lot of the Native American cultures also celebrate on winter, summer, spring, and fall for ceremonial purposes and reasons, okay? So that calendar says so much, okay? There is so much information right there, and if you think about it, they're sharing it with everyone. Anyone who came here after is having that information on the wall. So I'd like you to picture that across the whole thing. You've got animal pictures, things like that. I encourage you to guess what they could be. I'm not allowed to tell you what they are, but to guess what some of these animals are. And think about it as we're teaching the next hunters to go out and scout these animals and harvest these animals for food. So we have this big one right here. If anyone wants to call out what they think it might be.
Javelina.
Keep going.
White-tailed deer.
Was that?
White-tailed deer.
Close. A little bigger.
Elk.
Elk. That's my guess. But what I like is pointing out every perspective. Someone said javelina because they're looking at it the other way.
Oh, yes, that's
Right? And we've got deer, whitetail, elk. We don't really truly know what it really is, but we all got these awesome guesses. With that point, every tribe that comes in here, even each individual family clan, is going to interpret these things slightly different. Just like if we were in a book club and we were reading the same thing, we all have a different perspective from our own experiences. So with that, I love the suggestions of what this is. We all know it's some kind of animal, so just picture that. Okay, this one over here I don't often share, but I'm going to share it with you guys. I got to follow a Hopi grandmother, okay, well, in 2017 when I was here the first time, and she interpreted the walls, okay, the pictures. So with that said, this bottom one, and everyone can move in and out and check this out. There's a bottom animal with a swirl mark coming up and out, and then 4 marks above that swirl. She interpreted this as the spirit of the animal eating. So to me, I know that they teach hunting as a sacred act. When you take that life, they give thanks in the moment. Okay? So maybe they were making sure to teach the children that there's a spirit in this thing, and we don't want to just take it for granted. Okay? I had a guest tell me the next one up, where there's no spirit symbol, that's kind of like a skunk. I've had 2 things, the skunk, or maybe they're harvesting the fur or hide. So I was like, I love it. So look at these things and I encourage you to figure out for yourself what it speaks to you.